good morning, YouTube. Coming from the UK, this is Kaz Vlogs Daily, coming from the UK, where it is always sunny side up. I'm only joking, we're in the middle of a massive storm, but nonetheless, too much sunshine and no rain forms a desert, and deserts aren't good for life. So, we're not complaining. But yeah, hope everybody's good out there. Without further ado, I just want to jump straight into this today. I've got an absolute doozy for people today. This is, I guess you could call it a precursor to Bitcoin. I'm not really too big into sort of cryptocurrencies and the stuff like that, but I do find the whole, idea of decentralized currency something that's like really interesting. And obviously, this is sort of like 1999, late 90s. So, I mean, quite a while ago. Obviously, Bitcoin went for maybe 10, 15 years later. So, I mean, I think it just goes to show that, timing in this day and age and in this life really is everything. There's been countless examples of people that have had brilliant ideas, but literally have just thought of it too early. And I think this is a prime example. Cat, no. You stay where you are, you. My cat's trying to jump in on the video today. But, right, let's jump straight into it. So, in the late 1990s, Silicon Valley entrepreneur Spencer Waxman was in Morocco on a holiday when he heard an Arabic slang term for money, which was called Flooz. Not floozy, don't be getting mistaken, but so that stuck with him. In the dot-com boom taking place back in the United States, URLs with obscure etymology were popular. When Waxman and partner Robert Leviathan decided to co-found a novel way of distributing the online commerce industry, calling it Flooz.com, was almost a foregone conclusion. What Leviathan and Waxman envisioned was a virtual gift certificate that would drive businesses to participate in online retailers, give consumers some sense of security over their private information, and make shopping for stubbornly gift-resistant recipients easy, rather than merely offering cybercurrency. This was a service with a purpose. So, yeah, I mean, it all started out really well by all accounts. Cat, you are really hell-bent on making me mash this up, aren't you? Non-cash currency has been with us since Chinese used cowrie shells to sort out debt for goods and services more than 3,000 years ago. In the 1960s, credit cards became an alluring alternative to saving and carrying paper bills. When online, retailing exploded in the 1990s, it was only natural that startups would begin to explore virtual payment methods. At the time, digital transactions were perceived by many consumers to be a near guarantee of identity theft. Handing a card to a vendor in a closed-loop retail environment was one thing, but the thought of hackers seizing their information once it entered into the borderless environment of the internet kept many away from online shopping. So as it turns out, the paranoia had turned out to be justified in our current climate of constant data breaches. It was also good for businesses hoping to turn out their apprehension over credit card security into a monetized solution. So Flooz.com debuted in 1999, just 1 year after another currency-based URL, Beans.com, had garnered press. Beans were a kind of earned point system with approved transactions gifting customers with redeemable gift vouchers. Flooz took a different approach. Customers would sign up to Flooz.com and purchase gift certificates for specific retailers, which they could then use themselves or pass along to a gift recipient via email. For businesses, it was a way of driving traffic to sites. For consumers, it was a way of keeping credit card transactions limited to one vendor. For Flooz.com, being the intermediary meant taking a 15 to 20% cut of completed transactions on the selected retail sites, which range from Godiva chocolates to Barnes & Noble and Tower Records. To help Flooz cut through online marketing noise, Leviathan enlisted actress Whoopi Goldberg to be their spokesperson. In exchange for company shares and Flooz.com money, Goldberg led an 8 million ad campaign for radio, television and print that extolled the benefits of using Flooz.com. Whether it was Goldberg's pitch or the concept itself, the company debuted in the fall of 1999 and had opened 125,000 accounts by January 2000. That year, roughly 25 million in Flooz.com money was purchased and used. In a nod to the impenetrable vocabulary of the internet at the time, the media loved to point out that beans could be used to purchase Flooz.com. Bolstered by the attention and early success, Flooz.com was eventually able to raise $35 million in venture capital. Consumers could meet their gifting obligations by emailing a code to the gift recipient without having to waste time shopping. For a time, it actually appeared that Flooz.com would become a leading method of payment in online transactions. But, as always, it didn't take long for the seams in Flooz.com model to show. While gifting vouchers to family and friends was convenient for the gifter, the giftee was stuck with a very limited number of vendors that took Flooz.com as a payment. If Amazon had a deal on DVD or a book that Barnes & Noble didn't, Flooz users was out of luck basically. Shopping for a bargain was absolutely impossible. The second most crippling detail was Flooz.com was forced to make in order to strike deals with vendors. So much like the sort of like payback guarantee that I guess eBay and similar platforms do, basically Flooz offered a similar sort of commitment, and by the summer of 2001 that commitment became a tipping point. Agents from the FBI had actually informed Leviathan, which was one of the co-founders, that they suspected a ring of Russian hackers had purchased $300,000 worth of Flooz in order to launder funds from credit cards. Created a paralysing cash flow problem, as their credit card processors withheld funds until Flooz.com could secure the transaction. People were still busy redeeming Flooz dollars that they had already spent. Retailers then looked for Flooz.com to reimburse them. Suddenly, customers trying to pay with Flooz was greeted with an error message that basically meant the site was down. Those issues, coupled with the fact that corporate clients had already started to move away from gifting employees with Flooz dollars, forced Flooz to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in August 2001, just two short years after it, sort of came to fruition. Court papers cited almost $14 million in liability. Beans.com was also a casualty of the dot-com bust when participating retailers processing the point steadily went out of business. But Leviathan managed to rebound, founding the Pando file sharing network and selling it to Microsoft in 2011 for $11 million. Meanwhile, Flooz.com's remains a barely remembered footnote in e-currency. It would be hard to chart the rise of digital funds like Bitcoin without it. Like with so many other good ideas, everything is timing. I have to agree. And there you have it, folks. There is my rendition of the Flooz, which I would go as far to say was the Bitcoin before Bitcoin, or at least even like the precursor to sort of cryptocurrencies. And I mean, it just goes to show that the idea was there. So, I mean, I apologise for any shitty editing. I am just learning. I'm literally just trying to do what I can, try to get some decent information out there and better myself and better my videos in the process. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I am trying a little bit harder these days than the original uploads that I were doing, which were largely unedited and unscripted. So let me know how you like these formats. I will still be doing like the unedited versions and just chatting some shit. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this one. I know I enjoyed researching it. It was super interesting. Like, share, subscribe, and peace out from the UK, guys.